How do we create middle-class jobs? My first recommendation is to focus on the areas where we have lost jobs. There are jobs in infrastructure that are very much in the manufacturing building vein. We use those kinds of skills, those kinds of bronze skills, but where we have not had a major investment, both at the federal or state and local level, in infrastructure, bridges, railroads, roads, like public transportation. All this stuff is very old relative to almost all other developed countries. That's a temporary thing, but I think there's enough work to be done that could actually create a lot of employment. And then having better infrastructure in a lot of the places where we would be improving it could make it a more attractive place for businesses to open up, for other, could it reduce commuting times, could increase productivity a lot in a lot of different ways. I think that would also help generate demand for the kinds of jobs that the middle class has been losing. My second recommendation is to focus on those sectors where we see wages rising faster than the number of people who are able to do those jobs. A lot of the jobs that go into building those structures, refactoring them, electricians, plumbers, roofing, tiling, HVAC, like all of these are like high-skilled blue-collar jobs that are non-tradable. Like you can't get a plumber from China or Mexico to do the work of a plumber here. So they typically have pretty high wages also. So to the extent we can remove restrictions and promote development, that could also increase, I think, demand for a lot of blue-collar jobs in a lot of the major cities where we see a lot of growth. My third recommendation is to invest in education today to make sure that today's students have the opportunities and access to develop the skills that they need to do the jobs in the future. There seems to be increasing disparity in access to education early on. So expanding our investment in education, making it more accessible, dealing with some of the drivers of high cost that don't pass into students, like unionization, pension system, this kind of stuff, tenure that is too generous, maybe raising wages for teachers even to relax the tenure restrictions and make it easier to replace underperforming teachers and encourage higher skilled people to enter into teaching in the first place. So I think that would be a good policy goal for the next 10 to 20 years to create a workforce in the middle class that has this kinds of skills necessary. There is an increasing number of people who don't have access to decent education, and that closes the door to a lot of these professions that we've been talking about, where they're sufficiently white collar such that people have to have a certain amount of reading, writing, math background to go into the professional schools or apprenticeships and train for those jobs, but they have the ability, I think, to do it if they have access to the educational services that the people at the top have access to.